One day, PhD. One day, you will write books. One day, commercials. One day, the impossible, you will laugh at the impossible. You will look at the impossible and go, what was I thinking?
Good afternoon, my spoiler alert friends. Welcome to another episode. Thanks for joining me. Today, I'm going to be talking about honey and its potential benefits for as an alternative to sugar or artificial sweeteners for your diet. So this one's a kind of a controversial one. There hasn't been a true consensus formed yet on whether or not it's beneficial or not beneficial. There's a lot of evidence that suggests that yes, it is beneficial, but then there's also issues with different studies. So some studies show conflicts and some potential risk factors for it, and then others show more benefits. So I'm going to just start this off with, make sure you talk to your doctor before you start implementing this into your life, because we don't want any complications or any serious side effects to occur from changing this. But a few of the things that are mentioned in in some of the articles I've been reading. Well, first, let me just give you a background as to why I even thought to do this, right? So, or wanted to do honey, or thought about it. So I like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And so what I normally do, well, what I've done of late, I'll take like a sourdough or a fermented bread, or I'll use regular bread too. It doesn't have to be fermented, but then I'll put like an all natural peanut butter, and then I'll put jelly, and then I'll sprinkle cinnamon and cacao nibs in the middle, and I'll eat that. And I've been trying to find an alternative to jelly, and I'm like, okay, this thing's got a ton of sugar. Like, who knows what's going on in the manufacturing of this, right? So I'm like, what can I do? So then I was like, well, maybe I'll do get like a blueberry preserve or something like that and spread that. And then my wife says, well, you could just make blueberry preserve. She was like, you take blueberries, you boil them, you like grind them up, and then mix a ton of sugar with it. And I'm like, ooh, that just sounds like it's bad for you. So I was like, what could I do instead of sugar to make the preserve? And then I'm like, well, a lot of people mention honey as a natural sweetener to use to switch things up. So then I'm like, well, let me look into honey. What are the pros and the cons of honey? What does the research say? And there was a lot of good information. So it's like the things that were saying it is good for your lipid profile. It decreases LDLs, increases HDLs. It's anti-diabetic in the sense of it lowers blood glucose levels and increases insulin production. It's supposed to be good cardiovascularly, but I believe that is because of its effects on the lipid profile. But the problem when I'm going through all the research is that they don't know why honey works. And the other problem is that there are so many different types of honey from different regions of the world that have different effects on the body. So it's not like this standard honey is honey and it will do X, Y, Z. So it's like you might get honey from America and it could be completely different than honey in India, right? So it's one of those things where because there is so much variance and there aren't enough studies that go over each and every variance, you can't really completely recommend it. And so that's why it's important to talk to your provider, because they're going to have a better picture of you overall. And then your region, you got different honeys, you can research different honeys in your region and go from there. As for me, I think something that I might do is I might just do my own study, right? So I like to do research and I sometimes do it on myself, right? So when I was first starting my health journey, I guess not first starting it, but I was really close, like on the verge of diabetes. And it was like, okay, what can I do? I was doing all kinds of extreme things, workouts, changing things up, and nothing was moving the needle at all. But the things that did help were strength training and high intensity interval training, particularly sprint intervals. And then I started eating a lot more natural foods. So reduced a lot of the processed things coming in. Not that I cut it out completely, because I still eat it. I believe in enjoying things and enjoying life, and using moderation. You know, don't overdo it. But so all of these things I implemented, and my numbers improved dramatically. And so I'm like, oh, wow, that's, to me, there's the evidence right there. So what I'm thinking of doing, so one of my issues that's still present is that I still have an elevated LDL level. Fortunately, my HDL, LDL ratio still keeps me in the optimal zone for health. So I'm good that way, but I would still like personally to see that number drop. And then I think about the different things I consume, and where can I make little tweaks that still make it so that I'm enjoying my food and able to still experience things and not be so limited, but also be healthy. So this is going to be one thing that I'm going to try and do. So I'll try and incorporate more honey into my diet. What I'll probably do is, I mean, there's a few things. I could just get my lab work done and get all the numbers again and see where I'm at baseline, and then go through and just change this one thing in my diet and see what happens. But I don't know. The study design is to be determined. So, but what I'm thinking probably is, once I get to the point where I make this blueberry preserve jam, whatever, that's probably when I'll go in to my primary care provider, get my lab work done, and then test it out. I mean, that's the easiest way to do it to me. It can be expensive, I get it, but I like to find the solution. So if you are interested in, you know, utilizing honey as an alternative to sugar, or like the fake synthetic sweeteners that we like to consume, again, talk to your provider. There are claims, and from the research that you'll see here, I'll be putting in the description a lot of different research articles on this topic. But you can take a look, read it over, see if you fit any of the categories, and then what the implications might be for you, and go from there. So I look forward to taking you guys on this journey with me, and I'll just keep you updated on my progress and flavors and things like that, because like we know, you know, exercise is medicine, food is medicine, really things that can bring you joy and true joy. That's medicine for the soul. So I'll keep on putting out the content, and hopefully you guys learn something. And if you guys think of anything or have tried different things, feel free, put it in the comments. Let me know. I like the discussion. So until next time, thanks.
One thing I know.